Hey there, Malaysia, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching us, Zamil and Annie, on this wonderful new year, 1st of January 2013.
First show for the year.
1113.
A bit.
Yeah, we have to get used to that.
All right, so we're going to jump into our first topic, which is on Feng Shui. And I think a lot of people want to know this. Vastu Sastra for the Indians, Feng Shui for the Chinese. Well, astrology for the others.
Yeah, if you want to know more about Kenny Hu, just as an intro, Kenny Hu is the founder and chief researcher of Good Feng Shui Geomantic Research, a research-based company that actively involves in providing professional Feng Shui research, authoring seminars and consultation services for domestic home, business, factories, hotels and resorts, townships, property development and ancestral graveyard, as well as Hello On 2 set.
How interesting. All right, now before we get into talking to Kenny about this, here's a tip that we have found in his book. It says, avoid installing mirror facing to main door as it may introduce negative forces to the house. Also avoid placing mirrors on the ceiling as this may create health problems. You do have health.
It may be sexy, but it's not good.
Actually, people put...
Yeah, they have.
I'm a bit worried. What are you doing with the ceiling mirror? All right, welcome. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you doing?
Oh, it's wonderful. Today is wonderful.
I am very curious on what you have to tell us this morning. So
Yes.
let's start it off with, what
Yeah.
what to expect.
Basically, just to summarize how 2012 has been,
Yeah.
and moving forward to 2013.
Your prediction.
Yeah, as predicted for 2012, right? It's been quite tumbling, ups and downs, and even in terms of the weather, also natural disaster. It has been, a lot of all these so-called challenging issues.
And water elements.
Yeah,
right?
water elements. Yeah, very strong. The water element was very strong. And then coming into the year of 2013, which will be so-called the snake, the water snake year.
Okay.
Of course, actually, the snake years will start from February the 4th. And now we are still within the dragon year. But no matter how, today, this is the first day of the year, right?
Yeah.
We want to have a new resolution of the year. We want to plan ahead a lot of things, right? So it's good for us to know ahead what is in store for us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. So this year, maybe the coming year, and in fact the coming water snake year, will be much more better year comparing to the
Dragon year.
dragon year.
I have to ask you, better for which zodiac?
Yeah.
I
better
think
in
that's a lot of
general?
people going...
Generally, we
Yeah.
are talking about in terms of the betterment, right? It will be much more better in terms of not so much of natural disasters.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah, the weather will be
good
more stable.
Okay.
Unlike for example, last year, it's been like very extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too
Yes.
cold or too hot, too much of water or without any water.
That's right.
So this year will be much more stable in terms of economy. Also, there will be a lot more opportunities. Of course, talking about the zodiac signs, right? A lot of people may want to know. Okay, so for those who are born in the year of the, for example, the snake, and also the year of the bull, there could be a lot more so-called challenges coming in.
Oh,
But
okay.
don't worry about that. So long we know how to plan ahead, right?
Okay.
Right.
It's all about, we call it the life path management. So long we know when will be the so-called challenging month, what is going to be, and so on, then actually we can plan ahead. We can avoid to minimize the risk. For example, throughout the year, right, there could be some challenging month throughout the year. For example, from June, July, August, there could be a lot more so-called challenges, changes, and so on coming in. And I especially name this year as the year of correction.
Correction.
Yeah, correction.
Oh.
So we are expecting this year there will be a lot of so-called maybe new system, new policies, right? Even new leadership and so on. There will be a lot of new things to appear, to emerge. So we should not sit still doing the same old thing like before.
Okay.
Right? We have to adapt to the so-called changes, a lot of new systems, right? And also even in terms of our thinking method also, we cannot think like the same old way like before. Right? We got to be more innovative,
Proactive and innovative.
proactive, right? And also we need to be more predictive as well.
I have to ask you this, Kenny. Usually, a lot of people say, certain years you should wear a particular color because it brightens up your year. When you walk into a room, it sort of brightens you up.
Yeah.
The aura is created. So
Yeah.
this year, are there certain colors that, generally...
We should
again,
wear and we should
yeah.
avoid. Yeah.
Generally, this year, right, the so-called the luckiest color is the color of purple.
Oh.
Yeah, purple is the luckiest color.
Okay, what are we doing in blue?
We're moving there.
Wardrobe?
So in terms of if you want to make full use of all this, for example, color actually contributes in a way or another. For example, when someone wearing this color, let's say when we go to a supermarket or go to a store, right, we buy something, maybe a piece of shirt, or we try it out. Maybe your girlfriend or your wife may say, hey, you look fitter, you look stronger, you look more attractive on this color. While changing to another color, maybe someone may say, hey, you look a little bit dull, a little bit not so good, and so on. So color actually contribute positively or negatively in terms of our so-called the aura, the chi, right?
Yeah.
So in general, purple is good?
Purple is good. Purple actually is the color of the year for year 2013.
You know what Jamil and I are going to be wearing for the whole year?
Yeah.
Actually, no need to be the whole
Full purple.
Yeah, full purple. At least something.
Some parts of
Well,
purple.
I won't be
parts.
investing in purple suits, but maybe
hope
different
not.
shades of purple ties.
Yeah,
Don't
tie.
do for purple suits.
Yeah.
I look like the Joker.
Yes.
And
Okay,
of course, talk about color. If we are able to match according to their birth details, that will be good.
Right.
Because everyone, when we were born during a particular date and time of birth, right, there will be, because our body has been charged during that particular time and space with certain so-called combination of the 5 forces. For example, for those who were born during the summertime, for example, from mid-May to around early July, their body naturally will have more fire element during the summer because the earth is very close with the sun, right?
Right.
Yep.
So the fire element, naturally, the percentage inside the body will be higher. So they should not take too much of, or using too much of fire-related elements. For example, the red color, right? So they should use more cooling color. For example, bluish color would be good for them. This is more.
We are on the right track.
This is like zooming in.
For now.
Yeah, zooming in basing on their date and time of birth.
I see.
This is
okay.
the way.
You know, this coming year will be the year of the snake. And you mentioned that those people who are born in the year of the snake will also be affected. Is it always a common thing where the person who's born under that particular year, where, you know, the year...
Particular zodiac,
the
yeah.
zodiac, will always be affected?
Yeah, this is a very common so-called curiosity that a lot of people may be wondering why. When we are born in the year of the snake, coming into the year of the snake, there will be
I'm
clashes.
having a
And it's
problem,
always
yeah.
a negative...
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is because when we were born, for example, someone was born in the snake year, so maybe during the particular year, the sun and also the earth relatively, maybe at that location. So every 12 yearly, when let's say the earth, right, coming back to the same location, then it will come back with a stronger so-called the forces to affect them, to give them some kind of like impact, either negatively or positively. There will be changes. There will be unexpected so-called uncertainties during that time. That's why if he or she are unaware of all these so-called changes,
yeah.
so he may feel a little bit uncomfortable. He or she do not know how to so-called handle it. So
Right.
that may make them feel that how come this year suddenly a lot of so-called differences, right, comparing to the previous 5 years. However, this is just very general. We cannot just, for example, based on the zodiac sign,
Yep.
to like conclude everyone will be having the same kind of so-called the life path cycle.
Right.
Right.
But of course, we will be also affected by our month of birth. The birth month,
That's right.
the birthday,
Yeah.
and also the birth time.
Right.
All this also will be contributing positively or negatively. It is all about the relativity study, right? So the year of birth, basing on the so-called the zodiac sign, contribute maybe about less than 20% only in
Right,
terms of
okay.
the so-called the changes.
Yeah, so it all depends on your year, month, and date. Now, let's talk about the economic situation in the country. Before that, of course, the economic situation, each and every one of us. I think some people are moving on to a new job this year because they feel it's the year to move on to something different.
Time to make big changes.
Time to make new changes or
Yeah.
big changes.
Yeah.
Some are actually looking at purchasing houses, cars. Is this a good year? Or is there a part of the year that you shouldn't be even going into investments?
In fact, every year we should not say that this year is good for this or this year not good for the other thing. So long we know the situations. For example, this year we expect that there will be a lot of so-called uncertainties, a lot of so-called challenges,
Right.
especially in the first half of the year, right? There could be more so-called uncertainty. So when we want to do investment, when we want to, for example, buying property, that could be a good opportunity because early of the year, for example, in the first 3 to 6 months, because of the maybe I mean the saturations, right?
Right.
Of the property. I mean the for example the land, for example the houses and so on, right? Maybe the prices may not surge that high, so that could be a good chance for us to choose, and also there could be more opportunity for us to choose from. There could be a lot more so-called choices. So it's good to move on to, for example, move on to their new house, even to get married as well. A lot of people say that, okay, this year, the water snake year, this will be a so-called the blind year.
Right.
Simply because the beginning of spring does not fall within the lunar year. Because the beginning of spring will come first before the Chinese New Year.
Right.
The Chinese New Year will come only on arise on the 10th of February. However, the beginning of spring arrive first, which will be the 4th of February. So, and also throughout the year, there will not be any so-called beginning of spring. So generally, it's been, the layman usually says that this is the blind year. So during the blind year, not suitable to move to a new house, not suitable to have a baby, not suitable to get married. But all this actually not really true.
Yeah, because you have to take into consideration of the different zodiacs of the people.
Yes.
And then you move on further to the year, the month, and the
Your
day,
time
and
as
the
well.
time of the year,
Yes,
of
correct.
the birth.
So
right?
we need to match accordingly. So don't worry too much. However, from our point of view, right, this year will still be a very positive year, especially after entering to the second half of the year.
So generally, it's positive, more positive than last year.
Yes, we do see that. And also,
At least that's good news.
yeah, the first 6 months, maybe there could be a lot of so-called uncertainties.
Right.
However, when coming into the second half of the year, the kind of rebound, right, will be very strong.
Oh, wow.
For example, in terms of economy, in the property sector especially, it will going up very fast.
Okay.
Even in terms of the stock markets, in terms
that's
of
good
the
news for a lot
investment,
of people.
yeah, the kind of rebound is very strong. This is what we can see. How we derive, I mean, we come up with this kind of so-called analysis is we are analyzing basing on the date and time of birth of the snake year. That's when the snake will arrive. Then we analyze on that.
Alright.
Then we do some relativity study. Then we can see all this information.
Okay. Well, Kenny, some people, you know, I think, again, these are people that I'm quite sure some of us know, and I know for a fact. They use certain, either they wear an amulet or they use certain figurines of animals, like a frog, for instance, a golden frog, you know, facing outward or facing inward. There are people who do these kind of things. They place golden frogs, the dragons. Would this actually help them for this year, knowing the fact that it's actually a water snake here?
Okay, this is actually one of the so-called Feng Shui implementation. However, Feng Shui implementation, there are so many different ways, right? Actually, to us, different master has got different way. To us, this is more on the so-called psychological effect.
Right.
Yeah, in terms of the actual Feng Shui implementation, actually the direction where we should face, how we should sleep, for example, the door direction, location, that actually carry more weight in terms of the Feng Shui effect. So instead of you putting all this, of
Golden
course, we can take this as part of the so-called decorative items. So long, for example, you put in the house, in the office, you have a feel good factor that is actually good enough, right? However, we do not need to purposely buying all these things to put here and there. Right, because some may feel that it may be clashing with their cultural belief or religious belief, right? Then that makes actually scared away a lot of people from Feng Shui, actually. Actually, Feng Shui implementation, we do not need to, put all these things. The highest level is actually using the water technique. Yeah, water technique is actually, for example, some of the houses you may see, some master may suggest where to put the fountain, indoor also where to put the water feature. That is actually can trigger the qi or the so-called forces, positive forces, very strong. Very strongly.
So in general, what are the things that we should avoid from doing or making?
Okay, every year there will be some so-called negative spot that we should not touch on, or we should not do any renovation.
Okay.
For example, in this year, 2013, right, the negative or sensitive spots will be in the southeast sector and also the northwest sector, the center, and also the southwest. All these four major sectors, we should not, for example, purposely go and do some renovations and so on.
Big changes.
Yeah, big changes, try to avoid. However, for example, let's say the roof leakage, so happen within this few sector. Currently now, we are still okay to do so, but must be before February the 4th.
Oh,
After
I see.
February, after February the 4th, right?
Yeah.
You change to the new year,
Yeah.
February the 4th. There's
Yeah.
a so-called beginning of spring, then it will take effect.
Okay.
All these negative
So
spots.
before the 4th of February.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for those of you out there who want to know more from Kenny, or you want to get in touch with Kenny, you can actually reach him at 77269928 or 1-800-226-888. We'll post this up on the Facebook. So maybe this will be a guide for you if you're thinking of new careers, new houses.
And the
anything
general
new.
website will be www.goodfengshui.com.
That's
okay?
right.
So we'll post this up in Facebook so that you can maybe contact Kenny.
There you go.
We are also going to move on to the next topic. This is something maybe we should consider, because if there are any changes in those 4 sectors, we have to do it quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we're
Wallpapering.
going to talk about wallpapering.
That's right. Well, Kenny, thank you so much. Thanks for joining us this morning, and Happy
you,
New
Kenny.
Year again.
Happy New
Year to
everyone.
All the
You're right.
best for you.
Thank you.
And keep staying with us, Malaysia. Don't go away. We have Nick Ramley coming back into the studios to tell us what wallpaper does for your house.
Don't go away.